We've got smoke. 5, 4, 3, 2. We've got ignition. 1. We've got RIP takeoff, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. Today we're going to be paying homage to a Chicago legend, V. Roy, aka King Von, grandson, Davon Bennett. Rest in peace, young man. Condolences to your family. We're going to unpack his incredible life and tragic death here today. This is volume 9. I have to double check on the numbers because we had FBG Duck. We said he was volume 10. But at any rate, I'm just making up volumes. But we're deep into our 187 bars series. And again, today we pay homage, respectfully, to the late, great Chicago legend, V. Roy. Chi-town, handling your business on your ready. Please like, share, subscribe. The show will start in about 3 minutes. Please like, share, subscribe. This show will start in about 3 minutes. Post on social media and all that good stuff. Yes, sir.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying
All the way through the show.
to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child, for said the master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
Growing up over here, shit, it was like a regular hood. I was with my homies and shit, all my friends, so we grew up playing, you know, kicking it and shit. Then we got older, still kicking it, but other shit got to happen and shit. You know how that shit go. But like where we at, it's low income and shit. Like all these low income projects and shit, so it wasn't a lot of money. So, you know, it tend to be where ain't a lot of money, there's a lot of violence. So growing up in here, shit, I was going to jail a lot of shit. When I got locked up for the drama and shit, like Dirk was the main one supporting me and shit, helping me. So we got even closer when I was just in jail. Then I got out. He flew me out there with him and shit. Got the rapping, so me and Dirk, you know, we like.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 river jury, he gonna have a lawyer. That's how we move.
Was you ever scared at any point though?
Yeah.
Cause you know
the whole time. Yeah, me scared shit.
Yeah, the whole time.
You was locked up, or did you get out
Yeah,
of
it's
bail?
like,
Or?
no, I was, it wasn't no bail. You just got to wait, like, till it's that time, like, and you don't know what's gonna happen to the last minute till they tell you, like, all right, not guilty or guilty.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is called to give an independent review of a deadly shooting where an off-duty City of Atlanta police officer fired shots.
Well, it happened early this morning on Trinity Avenue, and tonight at least 3 people are dead. CBS 46's Barmel Lyons is live tonight near where it happened.
Is this
Barmel?
live?
Yeah, Rick and Sean, according to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It hurt us a lot. I cried. Some of my friends cried. He had a big influence on us, a really big influence.
26-year-old Devon Bennett, also known as rapper King Von.
He won't be back on the streets, he old. Everyone that he love, they gonna be gone.
Shot and killed after a deadly fire.
Man, he's gonna be dropping some gems, boy. I know you don't fuck with him like that.
His group in the parking lot, and an argument ensued. The argument quickly escalated.
Show starts in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Rapper Maximilian says he was there when it all went down.
It was like a lot of chaos. You just heard the shots ring out. It was like rah rah. You know what I'm saying? There was a few people moving around, but at the same time, like with stuff like that, you're trying to get out the way because you're trying not to get hit.
Believe it or not, this all playing out right in front of 2 Atlanta police officers.
One of them was actually inside his patrol car or next to his patrol car with his blue lights on.
Coincidence, so.
Responding, attempting to stop the shooting, but it was too late.
He hit like the one officer that did respond. He tried to protect himself and stop what was
12
going
just
on.
happened to be there.
Feel me?
6 men shot, King Von and 2 others dead, 3 injured and being treated at the hospital.
On some real stuff, y'all just keep King Von alive, man. Don't let him die just because he dead. Don't mean he dead. Keep him alive. King Von to the end, y'all. King Von to the end.
The investigation on this shootout will continue. No officers were injured during this incident. According to GBI, this is the 82nd officer-involved shooting that they've been requested to investigate in 2020. In Atlanta, I'm Barmel Lyons, CBS 46 News.
Please like, share, subscribe. We're in the building. We're covering V-Roy.
And even in this instance, if I could be a service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Most of y'all want the red pill. We take the real pill.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
You couldn't handle the truth. The truth would have brought your ass home last night. Yes, sir. R.I.P. King Von. Please like, share, subscribe. Yeah, you know, it won't let me take it. That's crazy. Hey, welcome y'all. We back in the building. The Self Luv Show. Big ups to our crack production staff. They do the most.
Food for your soul, information, growth, and development.
Yes, sir.
BS is irrelevant to the intelligent.
Self-love, vision.
Is what we represent. It's the Self Luv Show.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Self Luv Show, right here on This Ain't That Network, or as we say, TATN.
To expose they don't equal. The Self Luv Show. The Self Luv Show. The Self Luv Show.
TATN. This is one of the co-hosts, and I am Millie. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my beloved late Mama Sky. Big ups. This evening, we continue our riveting series. 187 bars, dead rappers. This is volume 9, I do believe. We're going to go ahead and be exploring the life and death of legendary rapper King Von, aka Delvon Bennett, who was killed in the ATL by a gunshot on November 6, 2020. Many have commented that artists are worth more dead, that rap artists are worth more dead than alive to their corresponding labels. Others have asserted that blood sacrifice, which Von tweeted that he's making sacrifices out here, but I don't know if that's what that meant. But blood sacrifices play a part in many of these deaths. Either way, being a rapper today is the most dangerous profession in America. We'll dive deeper into Von's music, his struggles, his legacy, his inspirations, and the tragic circumstances of his death. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another entertaining episode of the Self Luv Show. These are lessons. These are not lectures. We live and live in color today, November 28, 2023. And it's about 6:22 in the shot. And as always, you, supernatural kings, your souls can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe. But thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here. Together. Shout out, what on, brother Words. Myth what you manifesting today, Brodeen.
Love, man. You know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Saying good, brother. Pure, magnificent, unfiltered, unfettered, sometimes harsh. Some folks have said sometimes tough, but, you know, I can assure you it's self-love just the same. All right, so what's been going on in your neck of the shop?
Well, it's the weather, bro. It drop off. We were having incredible days, 70s and 60s, and outside turkey giveaway events and all of that. And then 29.
Yeah, it's Chicago, man.
Cold outside and snow. Like, huh?
Well, out here in SoCal, you know, South Central area, I'm walking around in shorts and biggie shirts and complaining. So, you know what I mean?
Shouldn't be no complaint about that, my friend.
Hey, man, you're right. You know. All right, so what to expect? Our show's format, we like to give you guys a breakdown in case this is your first time in the building. You know, up in this piece. You know, guess we can call it the trap. We can start a podcast off and call it the trap. Find us a rundown place in the hood and do a podcast right out of the trap. You can push shit out of there right live while we're doing it. That's just a thought. We'll talk about it off camera. It's probably not legal. We'll see. I'll talk to my attorneys. But our format today, you know, how we get down. We already started out with the Self Luv Show quote of the day. Then we run a quick 1-minute video. It's a more growth and development video. That's our platform. You know, and we intend to rebuild a nation with more growth and development, all as one well. Then, of course, we got tattoo tyranny. We're going to run a video and see if our government's doing what we like, or if they're breaking the laws out there and they should be locked up or worse. Then, of course, your mind is an awful thing to waste if you don't use it. The more you matriculate, the more you process, the stronger it becomes. So we're going to give you a riddle sometime here shortly. And if you can't get it, Self Love usually gets it. Brother Wordsmith will give you guys the answer at the end of the show. And if he can't process, if he's standing back there like Justin Fields, then I'll go ahead and step in there like Tom Brady and process the information for you guys. Make sure you know what the truth is. Big ups, Tom Brady. All right? Drop dead clutches. All right, now, yeah, so your mind's a terrible thing to waste. You don't want to end up like me, so, Then after, of course, we got our dome teaser. Our topic is 187 bars. Today it's all about King Von. Industry sacrifice? We'll see. Phone lines, and you guys, we did a good poll about King Von on TATN. So pop out and take that poll right quick. We're gonna get the results, give the results at the end. Pop back in if you don't mind. Please like, share, subscribe. You can also call or text troll free if you got any comments, any personal stories. Maybe you met Von or seen some video or something like that. Any kind of input. We're here for it. That number's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
It's also pinned in the chat. Once again, it's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Positively, completely troll free.
Trolls get what?
Holes around here. TATN.
It'll make you famous. I wish Von was alive and trolled the shit out of our show. Where's that snitch? What's his name? Alleged snitch. No, they got paperwork. The rapper from New York.
Which one? There's so many of them. You talking about
the troll, the internet troll?
Tekashi or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Tekashi. Reach out to Tekashi, see if he'll troll our show. You know what I mean? Big ups, 6ix9ine, small ups. All right, and we're covering that next week. So snitching, we covered it once, but this one in particular, we'll talk about it in this show. So you guys, tune in next week. We got something great lined up for you guys. So yeah, that number's completely troll free. All right, it's pinned in the chat. Placement. All right, and then we end the show with my personal favorite. That's Wordsmith's final words. He's gonna break down some metaphysical prose and summarize today's show and Von's life off the top of the dome, which is worth sitting around for. So definitely stay to the very, very end. All right. So like, share, subscribe. Enough of my yapping. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Wordsmith so he can handle his business. Free Quam.
Welcome to the Self Love Show, where Nine has already so eloquently put it that we are continuing our 187 bars series. King Von, industry sacrifice, or what's your opinion? Unpacked. As always, we have a very important video, Silverback More Growth and Development video, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of that platform. For that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. My head been on a swivel before I was rapping. So do my head not supposed to be on a swivel? If you've been like this your whole life, do it stop because you got money now? Do it stop because everybody and their mama looking at you now? Once again, my head been on a swivel before I was rapping. So do my head not supposed to be on a swivel? If you've been like this your whole life, Do it stop because you got money now? Do it stop because everybody and they mama looking at you now? King Von.
Hey, boy, that's that Chi-Town swivel, boy. South side, southeast side swivel, boy. That's
You gotta
man, you get that swivel and you got that other hand right there. Nobody knows what anybody has and what anybody's up to, but it might be a bad day for someone. The South side swivel. Rest up, Von.
Silverback More Growth and Development Platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. Number 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influences. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
We're closing the gap. Get bread. Break bread. Von is breaking bread. You can kill it. And yeah, numero 10.
To protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Yeah, protect yourself out there. Keep that head on a swivel. You know
Got
what I mean?
to.
Sometimes the best defense is good offense and vice versa, right? So,
facts.
Man. All right. And read the Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Anybody out there, you know, dealing with ops and shenanigans, street shenanigans, as I should say. You know, yeah, read that. Definitely read that. A lot of your greatest gangsters were well read. So, yeah, normally up the chain. You don't have to wait until you get incarcerated to start reading those things. That can keep you out of incarceration. I learned a lot, though, Self, about Von, which we'll get into through this journey. Tell you what, I'm a fan of his art. Yeah, he's that man. I just wish he had one more album, one time for one more album, man, and everybody could have seen it. You know, where he started to have different type of content, like kind of where Dirk is going now. You know, of course, Dirk still has this, you know, songs. You're like, come on, man, you're 28 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got kids. You don't want your kids hearing this. You know what I mean? But big ups, get it how you can get it. We ain't here to knock nobody's hustle. But in case you missed last week's show, we did cover U.S. spooks. What's up with that, Self? CIA.
Wee. I tell you, you want to learn something? Go watch that show.
You want to learn something and get your computer hacked and put on the no-fly list? Go ahead and drop some comments on that show. Favorable comments, small ups to the spooks. It was a great show. I thought it had some good balance, and I learned a lot, you know, as well as we do every show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, you guys, please like, share, subscribe. Self Love, Tattoo Tyranny. Did you see what's going on here? Something's not right. Wait a minute. Who am I here? All right, we're going to roll the video. I think it's senatorial misconduct. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. I know you stay unplugged. You didn't see it.
Yeah.
What the hell did I do?
Defiant New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez told reporters today he will not resign despite once again facing federal criminal charges of bribery, including with gold bars. Also indicted his wife of 3 years. Stephen Fabian with more on what we've learned about the senator's wife and their engagement at Taj Mahal.
Did he do it for love? The allegations leveled against me are just that. Allegations. Senator Robert Menendez vowed Monday to fight the indictment against he and his wife Nadine. The power couple accused of accepting gold bars and $480,000 in cash found stuffed in his
What you won't
jacket in
do,
exchange for political
do
favors.
for love.
Senator Menendez refused to answer questions
She's
from
a
a flock
honeypot.
of journalists here in New Jersey, but said in a prepared statement that the
KGB or
money
the CIA
found
probably put
was
her on him.
actually funds
Make him
he withdrew from
compromise.
his personal bank account. Now, he never mentioned where the gold bars came from, but the senator was adamant he will not step down.
For 30 years, I have withdrawn thousands of dollars in cash from my personal savings account, which I have kept for emergencies.
That explanation mocked by Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. We have an extra flashlight for our home emergencies.
He is absolute toast on this indictment.
This is a guy apparently getting envelopes full of cash and gold bars. You know, he's like a movie
If this is
villain.
on Fox, he's got to be a
Bucket of
Democrat.
One alleged bribe,
You
a
already
Mercedes
know.
convertible. When she
This
got the
is-
car, Nadine texted the senator, "Congratulations, mon amour de la vie, love of my life. We are the proud owners of a 2019 Mercedes." The View's Ana Navarro says Menendez is a longtime friend, but he's still gotta go.
This is personally hard for me, but you know, when I saw all the evidence, I'm shaken. I'm hoping against hope that there is some sort of logical explanation.
Senator Menendez faces up to 45 years in prison if convicted on all charges.
Yeah, there you go, Self. You know?
Ooh-wee.
You know, it's the senator, Menendez.
Well, yeah, you know, they picked and choose because they plenty of those people in the Senate as well as the House have a conflict of interest on plenty of things. Serious conflict of interest.
Yeah. Again, I think this guy may have been set up. I mean, if you can have a senator compromise like that, take these gold bars, you jackass. If anybody's, just tell them it was in your personal savings account that you used for emergency money. You know, feds aren't going to ask where'd you get the gold bars from after that. They were just in your savings account. You know?
You just taking them around, carrying them around.
That's it. You know, so if you caught, skimming, if you got caught skimming or embezzling, it was just, no, I take money out of my savings account all the time.
Yeah.
That's his defense. And I'm not stepping down.
It's allegations.
So, I don't know. It feels like tyranny to me.
I mean, yeah, it seems like something underhanded is going on. I mean,
I think he was set up though, like Marion Barry.
yeah, he still took it.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Self. That's Spook 101. Get the big boobs out there, whether they're fake or real. You know what I mean? Get some old fart and make them feel, like she really cares about him. And yeah, love of my life. I bought a Mercedes. And if
Got
you
a real, that's a real handler right there.
exactly, and he didn't buy it. Somebody gave him that as some sort of under the table gift too, because you can let your babe go pick out her own damn car. I mean, that's pretty obnoxious Self to go buy a damn car, for a grown woman, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty obnoxious. And what did you just say? Because it was something. Damn, you just said something I wanted to piggyback on. All right, I can't think of it, but it was something I wanted to go on a tangent on. All right, but that's tyranny. If you guys agree that it's tyranny, put a capital T in there, and then if you like it, I don't know. If you like it, good for you. We'll just say that. Good for you. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. All right, Self. We're gonna jump past the other segment. We got a little bit of a late start. Just know that white on white crime does happen. It's no more right or wrong than black on black crime. Everybody needs to grow up and figure out another way, with all due respect. Today's topic is 187 bars. This is volume 9. We're covering the legend King Von, R.I.P. brother, who's now an ancestor. Was that an industry sacrifice? We're going to unpack that. The dome teaser. Copy this and get this into the thing here. Don't want to give you the answer. Okay, so we're gonna give you guys a quick riddle, and then we're gonna get on the subject at hand, which is V. Roy. All right, here we go. Self Love. This is one of those poems. All right, it's a poem riddle. Alive without breath, as cold as death, never thirsty, never drinking, all in mail, never clinking. It's J.R.R. Tolkien. You know, he's been known to have issues with his penis, from what I understand. Yeah, J.R.R. No. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, South Park did a whole big thing on it. And you know, when they be making these jokes, you just be watching like, man, they went hard on dude. Then you start doing some research, like, what? You know what I mean? He was he like to expose himself. That's how I think it was. J.R.R. Tolkien. But so here we'll give it to you again. Alive without breath, as cold as death, never thirsty, ever drinking, all in mail, never clinking. And I'm gonna put it in the chat because some of you guys are visual learners and thinkers. We got Sharuka Israel in the building with her big TV. Huh, Self?
She's watching on the TV or at work, I guess. I don't know.
You got a thumbs up? Hit that thumbs up, Sharuka. You got a thumbs up, Self?
No, I couldn't put it together. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, I didn't put it together either. You know, I had to look at the answer. Well, to be honest, I tried to matriculate, but we'll get it. We'll give you guys time to matriculate Self. So enough of the appetizers.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
All right, we do have a promo video we're gonna run right quick, and you guys please chime in. King Von, you know, I think I met Duck. It was a very short interaction. Rest his soul. But anybody have any Von stories? Y'all might even know his parents. His mom, drop dead gorgeous. Big ups to King Von's mom. Drop dead gorgeous. Google the image yourself. Google the image. Next week, Delph Love, 187 bars. That's our Dead Rapper series.
Yes, sir.
Where we're covering the great, legendary Davon Bennett, who you may know as King Von.
Gave me notice earlier. So TATN.
Von was a dog, bro, and whatever words, rest his soul, condolences to his family, but charismatic young man. Funny, man. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but charismatic, man.
On the count of three, everybody say squad. We gonna tee this bitch up. 1, 2, 3.
You know, we all have an arc, a character arc in our personal life, and my man had seemed to, you know, turn the corner, but he could throw them hands, man. He rocked them. You know, but when you look at it, dude wasn't even defending himself. Like, it really literally seemed like a setup.
It probably was. Dude was probably out there not knowing that anybody in the opposition was around him or whatever.
Yeah, well, Von was a live wire. He didn't care, man. And he told my man on site, so, and then his boy jumped out and shot him and killed him and then beat the case. Self-defense, self-defense. You know, Von was 6'4", 400 pounds, beating the shit out of him.
I don't think he shot Von, but that's another.
Von was 5'9". Down next week, 187 bars, sacrificing our brothers and sisters.
And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, we are coming to get our check.
Hey, bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Do you still have them? Got mine.
And Mark said, when we come to Washington, we're coming to get our check. You know, he was murdered shortly after that speech. Very shortly.
Very shortly.
And Mark said he was talking about all the poor white people with how they were
Man.
getting free money and on
Man.
top of money and no interest loans, and then
Man.
had the black folks, the melanated, teaching them how to farm that land, and could have just
Man.
saved the country a lot of money if they just would have gave that land to the black folks who already knew how to till it, who were already here tilling it since the beginning of time. But I feel like I'm go ahead. Because
that's 100%.
Yeah.
That's a lot of crap.
Yeah, nonsense. Yeah. Yeah. All right, but we're here, just want to kind of tell you guys, why we do this series. It is because rapping has been dangerous since the beginning, almost. People come up missing or not, or die under mysterious circumstances, and there's always a bunch of stories, even if there is a story. So it's cut and dry. This happened and that happened. We don't know if that's true. Like for Pac, we know that there's a camera with the fight and all of that. It's all, but Pac was into it with all types of PDs. He was into it with 12, and he told Meth and all the rappers get interviewed about that. And Pac was paranoid, man, about 12, bro. Like shut up in his hotel and all that. Like, he wasn't worried about the ops. He was worried about the cops. And I mentioned Pac because a lot of this generation is kind of liking King Von's legacy to Tupac. So, that's what it kind of is. But and Self Love and I, we have theories which we'll get into, and we'll see if this could apply here regarding, is it the same music label? Coincidentally, his manager who managed YNW Melly, Free Melly, he managed a lot of rappers who either end up dead or jail.
Handler.
Yeah. He's himself. He's not foundationally black. I think he's from somewhere like Haiti or something. Come over here with a bag full of money and gold teeth, and you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm a producer. I mean, I'm a manager. I make you rich and famous. You know what I mean? Take this bag of money. I come out of nowhere. And his last name is so rare. We're gonna get there later. One of the officers who was at the scene when Vine was murdered has the exact same last name. What a coincidence. We believe in coincidences on the show.
Yeah, there's no such thing. That's what we know about them.
And he didn't manage Dirk. And Self, you my brother. You my brother. And I blow up. We was in a game. And I blow up. You know what I'm saying? And you coming up, you colder than me. And in a lot of ways. I'm saying that's how Vine was. Like Dirk is cold in his way, but Vine was connecting, right? And I don't get you the same manager. Like I let you sign with some random non-foundationally black person who's not even part of OTF. Well, I don't know if he was. I don't
know. Yeah, it was a lot of craziness, especially in the end, because they couldn't even be together in person.
Yeah. In that case, ultimately got thrown out. We're gonna table that. For those who may not know, who is Daquan Bennett? And I guarantee you he's related to somebody we know. So I knew a Bennett. You know what I mean?
Yeah. King Von.
Absolutely. That's who that is.
Wentworth, Winchester or something. I think that's what they said. Where he was born at.
Thought he was on Hermitage, 78 or something, but Vine was born August 9th, 1994. He passed away November 6th, 2020. As Brother Wordsmith said, he's professionally known as King Von. He was
already wow.
Yeah, he was an African. He was an African American drill rapper from the South Side of Chicago. He's largely considered one of the most influential figures who represent the drill genre And it's a lot of reasons why. Like, he was just part of it organically before he even picked up a microphone or a pen, just interesting, you know. Aliases, I've gone over his aliases. Grandson, that refers to, why he got that moniker, Self, grandson?
I do not.
David G. David Barksdale. So I guess when Vaughn was younger and he was in the county, some of the OGs in there said the way he moved and everything allegedly reminded them of David Barksdale.
Yeah.
And so they started calling him grandson and shit. He should have rapped under that, man. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? That shit. He did. He made a song.
Said it's a lot of between Barksdale and him. That's why he got the King moniker, because
yes.
Yeah, as well.
Yes. So let's see. Yeah, so he was the founder of the Black Disciples, which King Von was allegedly a member of. The OGs in jail, as I mentioned. Okay. Other nicknames, V-Roy, because V-Roy, and then you had Trouble T-Roy. That was his buddy. That was his brother from another mother. Rest his soul as well. We're going to cover him. And then Hitman. Yeah. They called him Hitman. And then King Von. You know what I'm saying? So now you were talking about his early life. He had 6 half siblings on his dad's side. His dad is Walter E. Bennett, rest his soul.
Yeah,
and
he was the BD allegedly.
Yeah, they called him Silk. Yeah, they said he was that guy. Yeah, and stuff. They said that his dad was that guy, and how he got murdered. So yeah, talk about conspiracy theory. Yes, and Von's uncle, his brother, was telling the story, and he was trying to say it, but he was like, "Yeah, he got killed with a sniper rifle, and nobody sniper rifle. That's rare."
Yeah, for some gang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are people that come back from the armed forces.
True, with skills. Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
And they'll send them on them our
Hitmen
people too. Right.
Hitmen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they just come out the store or something and got sniped, bro. And he ain't got no chance with no sniper rifle. Those bullets are like this long, bro.
Went through him and through the store.
Damn, rest his soul. And he also has 3 siblings on his mom's side. Taisha. Did you Google image?
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah. I'd love to get her on the show. I mean, not for, but just to, talk to her. He was raised mostly by his mother in Parkway Gardens in Chicago's Woodlawn, more commonly known as O Block. It was Wick City prior to that. Also, he was raised in Killer Ward, so for that's what you were talking about. But I thought it was around 78th and Hermitage or Hermitage. It says Heritage, but it's got to be Hermitage. No, 78th in the Hermitage district, Heritage district. Never heard of such. But until 08.
Yeah.
So I think he was around 8 apart. But he grew up around GDs. They was GDs, and but he was a BD. He said it was he always made it known because his dad, you know what I'm saying? He always made it known that he was a BD, but he allegedly used to put work in. Yeah. I mean, you know how that's the best way you at. But I could see that. One of my guys, in his heart, that's what I am, and you know what I mean, and that's what it is. So, yeah. So they called his father Lil Silk. He was a BD. His relationship with his father was he loved his dad, but his father had a lot of incarceration, so they couldn't have that connectivity that you would, if your dad's there every day. So his dad was killed when Vaughn was 11, and he was killed by an unseen gunman. And it sounds spooky, so it seems
Very
spooky.
much, very much.
Yeah, and Vaughn said he couldn't sleep after that. And I think that's one of the events. You know, when you talk about quote unquote Pookies and Ray Rays and everybody's got shit to say about it, you know, it's like our African proverb, child's not embraced by the village, it's going to burn it down to feel the warmth. This may be a situation, somebody who burned it down and filled all the warmth of the village.
Yeah, I mean, it's been accused of a whole lot of things.
Violence, murderous violence.
Yes, it's not good. None of it.
And charged, but never convicted. And when you die, according to law, this American law, United States law, when you die, anything pending, you're automatically innocent because you're innocent until what?
Proven guilty.
And you can't try a dead man. Yeah.
Well, they are putting some stuff on him now. People are saying, yeah, he did it. And,
yeah, of course.
And,
Hey, when I leave this plane, I really don't give a fuck what they said I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, to a certain extent, you know, you don't want, no weird stuff. Like this Josh Giddey guy, the allegations against the Oklahoma player who plays for Oklahoma City, posting and gallivanting with a 15-year-old
my God.
girl. Yeah. Yes. That's not all over the media like Kyrie Irving would be. Or John Morant. But
they are kind of keeping it hush hush. They're like it's question marks, but they're not really saying what it is.
Yeah.
And that's
he said no comment, and you don't see Stephen A. Smith and everybody telling me, well, he owes it to everybody to come out, and you just don't see it. It's real funny. But I can guarantee you, if he was some sort of melanated, they'd be talking about it.
Man. Seemed like I've seen something, Stephen. I don't know what he said though. Because I kind of cut him off when I see him most of the time.
Yeah, but Molly and what's the other one's name? Was always going in on the brothers who got allegations. Where y'all at?
Man, you already know.
Where that bitch you all at?
What's the guy's name? The player?
Giddey. Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of name that is.
Yeah, he's from Australia. And the legal age in Australia is 16. And her brother said he knew she was 15. And the legal age in Oklahoma City, in Oklahoma, is 18. So, and he's posting over Instagram, this is my girlfriend, and we're about to go home. But he's got I think I heard he said he met her at a bar where everybody had to be 18 or something. But his brother's saying this went on and on, though. You know what I mean? And he's talking about Kyrie posting guns and all of this. And he owes an apology, not Kyrie, but John Morant.
Oh.
And that's played over. Yeah, but you got a 15-year-old girl with an NBA player, and I don't hear nothing from the commissioner, and he's not suspended. So the guy's still out there balling. He's R. Kelly out there, allegedly. Free R. Kelly. I digress. Now, when Vaughn was 11, his father was killed. We talked about that. He paid tribute to him in multiple songs. Now, he jumped off the porch around 12, but at age 16, Bennett went to juvenile detention for an alleged armed robbery in January 2011. While incarcerated, now, I didn't know this, he earned his GED. Okay. After being released, Vaughn attended they don't talk about this on Vlad TV and those major platforms. He attended a few classes at South Suburban College, which we knew as TCC out there in South Holland. DX probably rode up on Vaughn a couple times. I know he did. I got to talk to DX before dropping out, though. So, he had that, what do you call it? That boot camp, and got his GED, signed himself up for school, played baseball at Hyde Park. He wanted something out of life.
Yeah, not typical Pookie.
No, And people have suggested poor parenting. I can't see. Seems like he was being guided in the right direction.
I mean, he grew up in it. So, I mean,
yeah.
You live till 11 and your dad's, in and
your
out
dad
of
was that
jail.
guy.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
gets sniped on type of that. That's very spooky.
So he allegedly hopped off the porch at age 12 in 06. He initially did it with Killer Ward, which is a GD set. Says he was always a BD. What do you know about his family life? I mean, not his parents. We talked about that and his sisters, his family, his siblings, but his family, like your family, your daughters, your daughter and son. And,
He's got a couple children at least. Is it 3? I'm not sure.
He does have children. 3. You're right. 1 son and 2 daughters. So his grandson, his son's got to be called great grandson. You know what I mean? He's got to come out, man, you great grandson. You know what I'm saying? Since Von was grandson. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't repeat the cycle and
but as far as the artistry though, pretty sure he'd have people around to kind of get him into the artistry. Hopefully Dirk does the right thing by him and, don't have him out there sliding for Von. Although, I don't know. Couldn't stop me from sliding for my dad if, you know what I mean? I'd probably slide for my dad if my dad was, in my life and, you know what I mean? Yeah, I probably would. I ain't gonna lie. All right, but
they gotta be pretty young.
Oh yeah, they're pretty young, but then they'll grow up one day. That's why the mob, the Italian mafia, you see that played out in a lot of movies. They didn't leave the sons around, or you know what I mean, because they knew at some point, I'm retired and thinking all my ops are locked up and done and don't care about me no more. And you got somebody's son, bro. I mean, Lil Tim, you better, keep your head on that swivel. But Self Luv don't believe you shot him, but we'll get there. We're too far along here. So he had an on and off relationship with Texas rapper Asian Doll. So, but I thought she was from Chi. I didn't know she was from Honey Pot.
I thought she was from Atlanta.
Honey Pot?
Informant. Borderline.
Man.
If, I
don't
know.
But I don't know. He wasn't famous though when they started. But he was internet famous with the trolling, but he wasn't rapping famous.
Yeah, he was.
He was known in the drill culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was borderline. He was getting there.
All right, but the two were reportedly not in a relationship at the time of his death. As Self said, he had 3 children, 1 son and 2 daughters. So he had some legal issues. Your life shouldn't be defined as the worst thing or that you've done, or your legal issues, but kind of be unfair to not just go through this really quick. 2014, Bennett was questioned by 12 as a person of interest in a fatal shooting of 17-year-old GD Jakira K.I. Barnes, rest her soul. 12 were unable to charge him due to inconsistencies in witness statements. On July 24th, 2014, Bennett was arrested in connection with the shooting in May 2014, resulting in the death of Malcolm Stuckey and injury of 2 other men. Bennett was charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Shooting took place in Inglewood in Chi. Bennett was found not guilty in 2017, so he's not guilty of that. In 2019, Bennett and fellow rapper Lil Durk, real name Dirk Banks, were arrested in connection with a shooting in ATL. Bennett and his co-defendant Banks appeared before a judge in Fulton County courtroom for a probable cause hearing. Prosecutors claim that the 2 rappers robbed and shot Alexander Witherspoon outside a Poplar drive-in on February 5th, 2019, after weeks in jail, Dirk was released for $250 bond. That's $250,000, while bond was released for $300,000. Now, I know Von. I know cats like Vine. I'll just say that. And I know Vine say, Dirk had to tell him, you got to stop robbing the rappers. Guys like that. So if they just get off stick up kids, man, they're going to rob you, man. You're in there flossing. Look at this nigga over there, high posted. Take his shit. You know what I mean? And they don't even want the chain or the money. It's just, I don't know. Is it a hatred, a jealousy? I don't know. I
have no idea. No comment. I have no relation. I can't relate to that.
Yeah. Now, and sometimes, so sometimes they'll create the drama, right, with a civilian or another member, just because they want the robber, right? Nigga, where you from? F you, and make it a fight. And I'm talking about, some of the guys, and then hopefully they can stump you out and beat you down and take your shit, ultimately. And you think, oh, that was over, he messed with my girl. No, he messed with your girl because he wanted the confrontation, because he was jealous and wanted to take your shit. I mean, not saying he did it, but his bond was higher than Dirk's, but that could have had more to do with his past than Dirk. Pretty sure that was it. But after he passed, Dirk beat the case.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Fannie, what's her name? That Fulton County DA who talked about she's going to shut down all the gangs and the rappers.
Well, they simply blamed it on Vine. That's simply what happened. That's how
wrote
he
some checks.
That's how he got out of the case. He got a lawyer that said, "Yeah, well,"
and grease some palms. So you think Dirk blamed it on Vine?
Yes.
Well, they had film, and it did look like Vine was shooting, but it didn't look like Dirk was the shooter. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I saw some video, and they were trying to say it was Dirk because it was out of his car, which was very custom car. So whatever they doing was very unwise.
Yeah. In June 19th, Bennett and fellow rapper Dirk. Okay, but see, and so if people outside of Chicago, or I should just say certain communities in America, won't understand. And that's why, you need to stay out, if you're not from there, really stay out the way. Because we can get into the rumors why, if he shot KI and the rumor, it's always retaliation for retaliation for retaliation. It's like, man, you shot me. Yeah, I shot you because you killed my brother. You shot my brother. Well, I shot your brother because you killed my brother. Well, I'm killing you. And, and that's demonic almost. It's something over our city.
Like I said, when they say Dusabo got there, it was already warring amongst the Indians, American Indians.
You mean murderous war, not like certain tribal. Wow.
Certain tribes that got run up out of here.
Slaughtered.
Or they left before they got completely slaughtered.
Oh, okay. So run off, like you said.
Yeah, like went up into Wisconsin, went into Michigan. Had to leave.
Yeah, well, Brother Don Wildebeest would say that they were weak and cowards, and I don't take that. I don't agree with that.
Well, art of war is the art of war.
Correct.
People that feel like retreat is weak is
don't understand the art of war.
Someone who will get slaughtered.
Yes, unnecessarily slaughtered.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're sitting there and they got 40 Gatling guns sitting there, and they do a demonstration with one of your young or whatever it is, and you got your family and your kids and your whole village, and you know, man, we live off the land. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make it. So yeah, it's easy to call somebody, like you said, call somebody a coward. When you don't have that gun in your face. I tell you want to call me a coward. You know what I mean? I ain't nobody's
don't care
bitch,
what you
but-
call me, right? I mean, I'm just saying.
You can have all this material shit. I can guarantee you that much. Because if it's worth anything, I got it insured, or it ain't on me, or you know what I'm trying to say, Self?
It can be replaced.
Correct. Yes. Or lived without. Right? Now, we're not talking about children, loved ones, nothing like that. They can't be replaced. Right. We're talking about nonsense.
Yeah. Things.
Chains and you can have it. Just don't let me, in my mind, I'm gonna remember your face, because Self, I never forget a face. I can't remember her name, but I'm gonna remember your face, you bastard. And you better believe I'm gonna see you again if you wasn't masked. If you masked and you got, hey man, take all this. Just it's okay if I don't go home naked. You know what I mean? Let me keep a t-shirt and everything. Hey, y'all told me as a pledge, man. Sometimes you gotta get cats laughing, man. And I learned that, like, you got to break the mojo. They're in there in a certain mindset, like, break the regular rhythm. What's going to happen is going to happen. But hey, today, we talking King Von, but did you have anything to say on that before I spend our halftime?
I got lost in the sauce.
Well, yeah. Well, my bad.
No bad. I mean, it was great content. I just got lost into what we were supposed to be talking about.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what this sound means. Y'all know why we do it. Please like, share, subscribe.
9 Mills. The story go. It's the Self Love Show. And here we go. Self Love Show. 187 bars. King Von talked about his early life and his early career. And we're going to get into the meat of it and figure out what happened to a certain degree. Not really. Going to speculate on the information that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
And we will be right back at you, because we got some great videos. That
DJ Academics, eat a fat one.
Oh man,
It's one of those things to chase dreams, to trace goals, because the mind that you have and the hope and the brilliance of color that you could paint just by thinking and striding forward. Once it happens, it tends to lose some of the glimmer. The things that stand out the most to me in my life.
Picture in there, that's an abstract picture of a vagina.
Such as
the AI didn't catch it.
My first child smiled at me, seeing him take his first step. The friendship that I developed between me and my teammates, the laughter that we have. These things stand out more. They mean more than, the actual activity on the football field. And when you try to think back, it's sort of like a chore. It's kind of hard to go back and think of the things that you've done, because I've never been one to blow my own horn.
We over east, man, we chilling, me and my homie, and so he was on the phone. So this how they call us sleeping, because he was on the phone. I'm coming out the liquor store, I go to the car, he's still hollering at his homeboy at the phone. He come from the payphone to hop in the car, and while he hopping in the car, I'm thinking he's finna finish hollering at his homie. He said, man, Twitch just gonna get him what he want. Like, what do you mean just get him what he want? I look, man, I'm talking about He probably had a 4.5 or whatever. The motherfucking barrel looked like the size of a peanut butter jar hole that day. Goddamn it! I was like, God damn. So my instincts, I got a little jewelry on, so I snatched my arm back a little bit. And he noticed I had, man, what you doing? And it looked like he was finna bang. Then that's when my guy was like, Twist, just gonna get to him. Then he heard him say, what, Twist? Then he realized it was me. And the same dude that was finna get me, he ended up telling me his rap name, broke it down to the knee, let my homie get in the car, sat there and spit a verse for me and everything and let me go. Wow, that's what you call respect right there.
I see potential in people too. Like, that's how you know genuinely I'm not a hater.
Nowadays is a little bit too focused on getting the best.
Yeah, they be too busy trying to
moments.
make people beef and make like it's people real life at the end of the day. Like motherfuckers lose their life every day. Like,
Yeah.
This shit not a game. This shit not for view. This shit not cool. Like them people, they definitely gonna get their karma. There's so many fucking things that come behind being a fuck nigga. When you can be actually a good person. Everybody rock with you. Everybody cool with you. You need something, you could call niggas. I didn't know how to like turn it off when it came to I'm gonna put this image out of me on social media, but whole time I'm not living like that. It was the real me. I had to learn though. I took a lot of L's, a whole lot of L's. It was just me having to basically just growing up on social media, like not even growing up like a kid. I'm saying like my career wise, I had nobody to teach me. I had people to teach me how to move around the streets and how to stay alive, but social media was a different.
And it bows to his will. Nothing is as rebellious as the white man. Everything that God says thou shalt not do, the white man says, gee whiz, buddy, it's all right. Come on, try it. You like it, baby. It's okay. Gee whiz, you guys are too rigid. You only live once, man. Come on. You know that Chuck talks like that. I'm talking about Bob. I'm talking about Bill. I'm talking about Larry. You know the guys I'm talking about. Now, sister, you acting like you don't know them. That's why we don't allow no white folks in here. Because if we had white folks in here, you'd be looking all behind you and wondering what Bob and Bill and Larry and Susie and Cindy might be thinking.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro.
They so ignorant.
Ignorant. Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro. All right, you guys, we're back. What is going on?
Y'all know what that means.
What we represent is the Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. We do it for our people. Show. The Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show.
There's no equals.
The Self Love Show. The Self Love Show.
Toby Wordsmith, 9 Mills.
The Self Love Show. You know how the story goes.
It's the Self Love Show. We're back. 187 bars. King Von. Gonna get into it. That was his early life, early career, but gonna get into the meat of it. Part we don't want to hear.
Right. We're gonna talk about his music, his legacy, and the circumstances, the bizarre circumstances regarding his untimely death. Do want to reiterate, rest up, King Von, rest up, and condolences to his family and his friends. Self Love and I, we approach this because You know, we're on the outside looking in, even though we're from the city. Don't get me wrong, but we approach this with, you know, kid gloves and due deference and respect. We do have a poll out there. You guys, if you could take the time, it says King Von's death was. It's on TATN. You've got some options. You can pop out and pop back in, take that poll. We're going to discuss it at the conclusion of today's show. Further, there is an unsolved dome teaser riddle out there. You know, maybe I got to call my white friends and get them in here and solve this for you guys, because this is J.R.R. Tolkien, so it's probably a cultural bias here. Alive without breath, as cold as death, never thirsty, ever drinking, all in mail, never clinking. That's today's riddle. We expect one of you kings or queens to solve this prior to the end of today's show. So we would love to play some of Von's songs, but copyrights and et cetera, prohibits that. We'd have to wait until it's in the public domain, which, how long does that take, so? 50 years, I think?
Yeah, quite some time. Yeah, right. I mean, if we stopped and commented on it, we could play them, and it's fair use.
Yeah.
You can't just play the whole thing and then.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame.
It is.
You know. But here we go. So let's talk about his genre, his rap genre, his style, his technique self. You're into the game. You know, and I do want to say that Von said he started rapping shortly before he got released from the county, when he, quote, beat that murder. I don't like that term, you know, because that suggests that he was guilty. But yeah, what about his rap style, genre, technique, his style? You know, talk about it. What is it to you, and what is it? You know, yeah.
It was drill at its highest
apex. Shit,
he spoke on real events. He self-incriminated himself in a lot of his lyrics.
I'd say more so on social media than his son. Von was a storyteller, man. That's what made him brilliant. Let me get on camera here. Yeah, to me,
yeah,
he told stories, which, you know, there's a lot of people who rhyme, you know, like say Common. You know, Common even told me, he said he don't, you know, when I met Common, you know, he said he rhymes. You know, he said he doesn't rap. Von tells stories, man, like Crazy Story 1, 2, and 3. And that was a trip. But you're right. Totally a drill artist. His musical style has been associated with drill music. This belonging to the musical genre is corroborated in his interview by Small Up's DJ Academics. Despite the definition of Bennett is considered as one of the best pure lyricists in Chicago drill era and a more varied style rapper than the majority of other exponents of the genre. He's also been defined as being stylistically differentiated, being more of a classical rapper in a drill music context by demonstrating focus, delivering punchy lyrics on beat, and for his delivery, word plays, and sharp songwriting. He wrote his lyrics too, Self. He didn't have a ghostwriter, for which he is often praised by the critics. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it was the storytelling, you know, kind of like Biggie.
I hear you. I don't I haven't listened to enough of it to be, but I just know some, like a lot of songs he said something that he actually did or allegedly did.
Yeah, but it was always in a metaphor, though, right? So it was not admissible. But like I said, he had a lot of posts. social media posts and whatnot that he would have to take down, and you know, somebody would tell him to take it down, stuff like that. But you know, they was just I don't want to say
troll.
Yeah, he made a name for himself before he even picked up a mic, you know. He said he was inspired by his childhood in Inglewood, and particularly draws on urban novels he read while incarcerated. See, we mentioned that earlier. Read out there, y'all, if you're going to be out there doing that. He asserted that he read many books by Sister Souljah. Wow. He also liked Jaquavis and Ashley, especially The Carter, The Ultimate Sacrifice by Anthony Fields. Plus, he also appreciated Twilight novels. Did not know that. That's horrible for all these interviewers, you know, because that would have been covered on the Self Luv Show, and he sat on our show. We'd have discussed that. We wouldn't have just discussed street beefs.
No.
Yeah. We didn't do that when they came to the crib and we was in the hood. You know, we don't talk about that. You know, we talk to the man. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna do this music, or you don't have no reason to be here.
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, right. Just don't get me entangled in that.
Because you know, in my mom's house here, so
yeah. It was the same thing when we had that apartment. Same difference. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, this is our house. You know, this is home. You know, we don't need that. But his influence itself might surprise you a little. Lil Wayne don't surprise me. Gucci Mane don't surprise me at all. Waka Flocka was huge on the South Side, boy. You couldn't drive down the street without hearing some Waka Flocka flame. But he said he was influenced by Twista. That surprised me. Kanye, that didn't surprise me so much. Your boy, Lil Herb, G Herbo, that surprises me somewhat. But Herb always got his respect because
they all went to school. They went to Hyde Park.
Hyde Park.
Duck, him, and
I know what you're saying. So they had their respect on different levels, whether it's the art or whatever. They earn their respect. Yeah. Lil Bibby, rest his soul. And he said Dirk. He's influenced by Dirk. I can see that. That don't surprise me.
Yeah.
You know, you guys can go through his music. You know, I like the song "I Am What I Am." That shit was cool.
I don't know, but I will listen to it.
I am what I am, but I'm not what I'm gonna be. And if I should die, I'm pushing the murder rate. My niggas gonna slide every day. I am what I am. What I'm not gonna be. I put your ass up on TV. Some shit, boy. Oh man, he's flipping that. And if I should die, I'm pushing the murder rate. My niggas gonna slide every day. All right, but his one song, Crazy Story, that one didn't do it so much for me. I mean, I thought it was okay, but that was one that kind of, you know, went big for him nationally. Took Her to the O. That was decent. It's RIAA certified, 2 times platinum, sold over 2 million copies since the release back in February 2020. The record was one of the tracks on King Von's mixtape, LeVon James. So, bitch. You know what I mean? LeVon James. We don't like LeBron. He's all right. He's a good kid. He's a shut up in trouble when it comes to Michael Jordan, though. You bring Michael Jordan out your mouth, you need to shut up and sweat. You take a big cup and shut up and dribble. All right, now, his record deal. So now this is something that won't surprise you. But who did he sign with and everything?
Well, I mean, he signed with OTF.
Yes.
They distribution is signed with Empire Records.
Empire Records, where Satan is the CEO.
man, where you go to sign to blow up to get murdered.
Man, if you guys do your own research, I'm surprised the feds ain't done it. You know, start connecting the dots. I tell you who needs a RICO case, in my opinion. Well, I'm not going to tell you because it's none of my business. But yeah, OTF, which means only the family. It's a subsidiary. They're under the umbrella of Empire Records. Okay.
I think they got I think Empire Records is really a distribution channel.
Yeah.
And people go in with them. So OTF is a Dirk label.
Yeah.
Under whatever deal he has.
He's got to deal with Empire Records.
Dirk is with Empire.
Yeah, OTF, only the family. You know how you have your label up under a label?
Okay.
But I tell you one thing about Vaughn.
I'm a little confused because I thought everybody partnered with Empire. Empire was like a distribution channel. And that's why all these big artists were, you know, straight up coming up artists was able to have lucrative deals with them. And a lot of these artists got killed, like Modi and
Okay, so Empire Records makes money. They're a music publisher, a record label, and a distributor. Empire stylizes Empire as an independent distributor, record label, and music publisher, headquartered in San Francisco. The company has played a key role in launching careers such as artists of Kendrick Lamar, Cardi B, Dram, and Anderson .Paak. So now they're up there near Palo Alto self. So I'm starting to smell a big fat rat. That's how they're getting 25 million views, 100 million views.
Yeah.
Because they're right there and making deals allegedly with the people who own these platforms. No?
Yes. And the farms.
Yes.
You know, that they just, you know, how they run up views and run up listens and streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would think that conglomerate, when you get to these levels, we talk about new money and old money. They don't really have a need for that. I don't think their main goal, an entity like this, is to turn profit. It's probably to pay for itself. I think their main goal is to poison the minds of our children and our communities and, break up families.
Well,
that's why they're constructed. Meaning,
I agree with that, but I'm still going to slightly disagree because it's for profit. They, most artists are worth more dead than alive.
So you think the profit? So if it's for profit, then why wouldn't they promote positive music and artists, quote unquote?
Because it's both. Like I said, I slightly disagree with you because it is to destroy our communities, but it's also to make money and have this flashy look.
Well, that's what I said. I just don't think the profit is the main point. You know what I mean? The profit would be gravy. I think their motivation is more sinister than just making money. That was the point I was making. The profit, maybe break even, just the reason I said that is because, what would be the motivation to pay for, farms, people to, clickbait farms and talk to the eggheads, engineers and spend all that money. I guess it takes money to make money, but I'm saying ultimately, I just think it's all about the destruction of the Black community.
All of the above.
because money is just a ghost to them. When you get to those levels, it's just they can print up whatever the hell they want to print up. You know, I'm saying if Empire, I'd have to look at the corporate structure, and you'd have to dig into if the direct, what do you call them, the board members are public, which probably isn't. You know, and you'd have to, you know, unpeel that layer and see who these people are, you know, and to kind of dig more into the motivations. But I see what you're saying.
I'm saying
It's almost like it's like the crack business. It's to make profit, and it's to poison our community.
And they got life insurance on all these
huge
artists. Yes, humongous. And you know, that's all part of it.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I could see that. It's probably 50-50. Yeah, I could see
all
that.
of the above, though. I don't know if it's 50-50 or what the percentages is, but definitely is a part of
the
it.
reason I say it's 50-50 is because they don't promote. Well, I'd have to do more research to fairly say that. But quote what we could say culturally conscious artists.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like if they had one or
I'd
two
have
or
to see.
10, there's their percentages
who else is with
under them. Yeah, because they probably got a whole
right. I mean, because it's I believe it is a viable way for independents to get the proper distribution.
Yeah, if they want to come up missing.
Well, I mean, Kendrick Lamar and those other people that they dealt with, you know,
that's true.
Got them to the next level where they didn't come up missing or whatever.
I bet Kendrick Lamar can tell you some stories though, and that's a great point you're bringing him up because K-Dot, he, you know, had his mom and dad. I think in the picture, you know, he came up. He came up in a tighter family structure.
Yeah, he was no gang member.
Right. He had his affiliations by growing up in the block, and his family is from Chi. His parents.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's a good point. I mean, that is yeah, you're right. He's right. You're right. Yeah, K-Dot didn't yet.
Yeah. He ain't under them no more, so
yeah, but they might own the rights to his music. Not his current music, but
right. I'm just not sure how the distribution, you know, because he had TDE already. Like everybody with Empire already has a label. I think it's like the ones that's up and coming that really can use some independent distribution.
They got 3 different businesses. Yeah. So Empire Records, they do all of it. So it's probably either one-stop shopping or you go there for what you need, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought that always they would have it under an umbrella, you know, if I had, you know, if the Self Luv Show, you know, and Empire, you know, distributing it, whatever, you know. I don't know. But
a partnership is the way, like I heard Dolph talking about his relationship with Empire.
Where's Dolph?
He's
rest his soul.
Different realm.
We haven't covered Dolph, have we? No.
I'm just saying different realm, you know, right now. But when you talked about his situation with them, and then I heard other people talking about their situations with Empire, it was like a partnership.
They were there for
it was a partnership. It wasn't an umbrella and you're under them. It was
right. You had your own business and
and
they just took a cut out of the what they distributed.
Yeah.
Kind of like drugs.
Yeah. I mean,
now, one point I wanted to bring up that I was kind of surprised, but yet not surprised, because you know Dirk would be smart about this and OTF by the time Von got in the game, but Von owned all his masters, bro. To your point about how they roll with Empire. Yeah.
Right, because it was OTF.
Yeah.
That's how he owned his masters, because that was
he was a gangster and wasn't nobody about to do Von.
And Yeah, and Empire had no ownership, so I know they wasn't under
No.
umbrella of
No.
them. It was
No.
a partnership.
Right. Yeah. So his family, hopefully the kids and everybody are should be well taken care of at some point. Let's see. Go back to Empire.
Yeah, well, should be, but I don't know.
But it's funny, when I saw that, I said, damn, Self's always talking about Empire. You brought that up from the start of this whole series.
Yeah.
And you just keep seeing it. I mean, it's just a bizarre coincidence.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence out there. It's not a coinkydink. He got large insurance policies. He getting paid. I bet every time he goes into a partnership, that's part of the agreement.
It says, his estate has the freedom to assure Von's music is released in the right manner, as the late rapper owned and had control of all his masters prior to his passing. And that's what he's talking about, how rich, and he was doing stuff for the block, like putting money in people's hands, bro.
Yeah, I know that part.
Talking about, opening up laundromats and stuff to make the neighborhood. But he had money. He was about to have money. You know how you print money in the record business if you get to that level and you own your masters? Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, he wasn't even to that level yet. And he got money and he went and was like feeding the people. Like his people. He was feeding his people, like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah,
said,
out of his first meal.
We're gonna have laundromats, we're gonna have stores. He was talking about employing people and everything.
But it's just a sad thing. I don't want to say about our community because it's not our community, but about what happens within the community. Oftentimes when you have a person that's that's working to turn things around. I mean, you take Jacob, Snake Eyes, when he was out there doing his thing, he was unflappable. Now he's out there, working in the field, boots on the ground, turning the young one's life around, setting up peace treaties over East and working with everybody. And there when somebody gets shot and then he gets shot. It's a shame that it seems like whether it's Dr. King or whoever it is, when you really start digging into the issues and unpeeling the layers, and, making change, it seems like something happens to you, bro.
Well, it's set up for that.
Sad, man.
Yeah, that's not a mistake, and it's on purpose. And it's white supremacy.
And Self, and people will say, yeah, well, it ain't white people pulling the trigger. I can say it's real simple, though, to create a scenario. So if Self's out there, cleaning up his neighborhood and making peace in the streets, and now, maybe 12 won't be able to get overtime and have all those cops over there, because the neighborhood's better and, people are losing money. I could easily set a scenario and say, well, just to set a person up like you, to just make it look like, in other words, to create hatred within the community within my young wolves for you. I can put a spin on the narrative, he's not over here doing right and clean it up so that one day your kids can walk the street without, having needles in their arm and, get raped if they're a girl and stuff like that. I can put a narrative on you like, he need to mind his business. Who he think that kind of narrative, right.
Also,
the narrative.
You can pay a spook. I mean, spooks come in all shapes, sizes, and colors and creeds and whatever.
Pop up, you got a problem?
We've covered the realistic mask that they have. Will make anybody look like us.
A black, yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah. So, so-called black, because, don't like that term. But, yeah, they can just send a spook, and that's what they will do.
Right. But, So the spooks would be in place within these organizations, and you're right. And the hitman would seem like a regular person, but he might have a sniper rifle. And his story is, I served in the military and I stole this, and I can put this work in for you, no problem. And it's all spooky.
Yeah.
You know. And then something I brought up earlier, which I wasn't connecting to Von, he's alive, Self, and he's a beast. Whoever was responsible for killing his dad, he was talking about how it affected him.
Yeah.
Had to have some concern. Now he's getting money. He could build an army. They had to have some concern. If they're still alive.
Right. It's plausible. I mean, nobody even knows or has any idea. I mean, to me, that seemed more spooky. So
yes.
If that was spooky, then person has no.
Yes.
He ain't going to think nothing about it. He ain't worried about that. Because I don't care how much money Von get, he ain't going to find out Spooky if Spooky did it.
I know Von's uncles. He was
They didn't know.
He kept saying, he was like, he had to kill a sniper rifle, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they couldn't imagine who could do that.
Yeah, so so his what was his manager's name? Go ahead, what you were saying. I gotta look up his manager's name. He was with OTF because he'd be wearing OTF chains though. King Von's manager.
Yeah.
I think they call him Track or something like that.
Yeah, it was some
100K Track.
Fishy or something.
100K Track. I'm trying to get his real name. King Von manager. 100K Track. Real name. There we go. Jameson. That's his last name. Jameson Francois, aka 100K Track. Dreadlocks. Selfie. I mean, I couldn't write this up in Spook or Informant 101, not saying he is. And you put somebody out there in the game, give him a bag of money, and he's got a story. He's got a mouthful of fronts already, driving something slick. You know what I mean? I think they said he had Melly in a juvenile home. He's a grown man. I mean, think about this stuff. I mean, and I don't even know if Melly was really rapping. So how does this happen? Why are you messing around? Why are you messing around with juveniles? Was that your business plan? I'm going to go and find which is good if that's your plan, I guess.
How old was this guy? Was he around their age or?
He was like early 20s, but he was old enough where I'm not reaching out to juvenile. But I guess if I'm looking for rappers, so maybe Melly was cold already. I think Melly maybe was getting a buzz already, but I'm saying he reached out to Melly, but he had so many artists, man, and they've all come. He could just be snakebit. But his name is Jameson Francois Self, and one of the officers on the scene. I don't know if it was the officer who was already there. His name was Officer Francois. And King AK-47 pointed that out. And I started looking into it. I'm like, man, that's odd. I mean, that is a coincidence, so. And nobody knew that 100K Track name was Jameson Francois at that point. And then he had to come out and confirm, yeah, that's my name, but I'm not related to that guy. Because they thought he was the Officer Francois. Right. Good point. Because he got hit. And the other.
Hold on. The car just happened to be down the street with lights on.
Well, hold it. Before we can get there. His name is Jameson Francois, right? And what happened was some bloggers were listening to the police call when the murder first happened. So, and they were saying Officer Francois has been hit. Officer Francois has been hit. So if 100K Track is if he is the Officer Francois they were referring to, it would seem that the natural cover-up thing would be say, hey, 9 Mills, you got to come out there and say, you know what I mean? And then there's got to be another.
Your name, Francois.
Right. Correct.
Where we're no relation.
Because I say that because the real Officer Francois wasn't shot.
Right.
But 100K Track was shot.
Yeah. And he's Officer Francois. Allegedly.
I don't know, but it's amazing though. You know, these rags to riches stories, many of them are spooky. Is I guess our messaging in here. Not all of them, but many of them are spooky.
Well, I go so far to say most of them.
Yeah, nearly all of them. You know, yeah, it's people get help from somewhere, and there's an agenda behind it. You know, that's why my late mom always said, "Follow the money." But so yeah, we talked about his art, and I know he went on the Breakfast Club, Self, and that's when he still looks shell shocked. I've seen guys like that. Morrow, rest his soul, used to be like that when he'd come down there to Champaign, come out the middle of a war, and now you're in a place where there's no violence really. You know, you're on a college campus. Morrow had that. And you know, you could tell Vaughn was kind of in it, and he's up there on the Breakfast Club Self with Dirk. And he was, yeah, you know, I was, you know, he had robbed somebody. He robbed somebody in the Breakfast Club a time before when he wasn't part of the show, and he was about to rob somebody that time. Yeah, Dirk told him. Yeah. Oh, it's got to be hard to roll with a guy like that. So if you're just trying to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, he wants to go rob your business associate.
Yeah, well, can't do that. You got to pick and choose one or the other.
And you remember stuff, guys like that. You're not carrying. I'm not going nowhere with you if you're carrying a gun. All right. I can carry it, and if
you know me, I'm not even, you know.
Yeah, but
those guys.
Yeah, but you always had a stick though, man. And I can roll with you with a stick. I wasn't worried about you just pistol
shooting
whipping
somebody,
taking the chain, and it wasn't even part of the plan, you know.
It had nothing to do with nothing.
Nothing. We ain't masked up, Self. Not a guy remembers my face and your face, and you know, I mean, come on, man. But we had, you know, everybody, the shooter. I know it seems to make sense in today's world because everybody's shooting, but man, the shooter got handed the pistol. And even in the Tupac thing, when the OG was on there talking, you know, and I handed him my pistol. The shooter normally gets handed the pistol because the shooter is a live wire who will shoot somebody 9 times out of 10 over anything. So, you know, you don't necessarily want the shooter unless you're spinning the block. You don't want the shooter to already have a gun. That's all I'm saying. But I know it's different now. Everybody's got a gun. Nobody can control it. But
yeah, that's facts because it's got to be. You can't let a loose cannon run around all the time.
Oh,
packing.
No,
I mean it's just not wise.
No, they're shooters. You know, but you mentioned earlier, you're talking about the serial or the allegations.
Allegations, yes.
Yeah, so there's some serial killer allegations, you know?
Yeah.
You think? And he did tweet, I'm out here making sacrifices.
Yeah, I mean
this was before he blew up. He tweeted so, and when they were going back and forth about whatever, he tweeted, I'm making sacrifices, and deleted the tweet.
He tweeted, I'm making ghosts, you know.
Yes.
He tweeted he's making a lot of things, and he's tweeted right along the timelines of different events.
So even if he wasn't responsible for it, it was distasteful. I'd say that. It's distasteful.
Well, he's responding. He's saying it before it's public knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
So You know, it's too close to the thing. You know, in Chicago news, people
Him and
get
D
killed
Rose,
all the time.
one of the YNW guys got killed over there by my old crib on 51st, and him and D Rose rolled up on there like 15 minutes after that happened. The police was still there. Like, man, who got posting it though?
Yeah.
None of that, you know, if I'm a juror, I can't say, well, they did it, but we all know the police always know the criminal.
Saying, turns to the scene of the crime.
I mean, come on, man. You're putting yourself 20 minutes away. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself, you had to be 20 minutes
in the
away.
vicinity.
Yes.
So, you know, it was a lot of questionable things along that line.
He didn't give a fuck
at all. So, you know, and what did he get? 26 years?
Who?
Life.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, you know what I mean?
And what you said, when you wanted to break the cycle, what happened to your dad?
Yeah.
I'm sure he thought about that in his last moments, because I wonder how old his dad was when he passed. Seemed like a similar age.
It was similar.
When you talked about that cycle you wanted to break.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Hopefully it's broken anyway, so there's money that can come out of poverty, so that it doesn't have to be, and if his children are, you know, I don't know about his family or and how they gonna, I don't necessarily think it was his family. Well, his sister's kind of out of control from, I don't want to say out of control. I don't mean that. I mean, she's
tempered a lot, you know. She was just saying that that's all they knew, you know, and so she's maturing and tempering a lot now.
That's
you know,
great.
It's got some people around her.
Great.
Yeah, but she used to troll, to your point. Yeah, and go back and forth with people on the internet and threats and stuff like that. But yeah, and she just said that nobody taught them. You know, it was a bad time. Nobody taught them how to use it. But stuff we knew it innately, but we were older.
Yeah.
We knew it innately when the internet came out. Like, I'm not putting this shit on the internet.
Yeah.
You see how long it took us to get this going?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Facebook and all that, like, that's too much. And that's another thing. So the alleged murderers would research and troll on people's social media accounts. Then they know where you at.
Yeah.
You know, they know where you've been. So they know, okay, this is corner store. All we got to do is sit out here.
That's why all this is CIA spooks.
Oh, it's some sort of experiment.
Yeah, the spooks are financing.
Mm-hmm. Spooks and backed by Harvard, some sort of endowment from the what do you call them? The Ivy Leagues. Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, it's the people that give the endowment to the Ivy Leagues. Paying for
gotcha.
this.
They're all spooks. The Ivy Leagues are spooks training, and it's all spooks. But so there was a beef with 63rd academics, DJ academics. You know, the war in Chirac. You know, they fanned it. Tuka got murdered, and you know, everybody would be smoking Tuka, and you know, Odie Perry's from O Block. That's how they got their name. Big war, big war. I'd hear about it when I was still in the Chi. You know, I left right at the start of it, but you hear about it. Rapper killed. Like, what rapper? I mean, you know what I mean? I never heard of them. I mean, I guess, you know, like, you know, but they were rappers, you know. Yeah. And they was just trying to make a way, man. That's what I get. But what go ahead with your comment, and then I'm gonna ask you, what do you think about, you know, the move to ATL and all that? You know, you gotta move up out your neighborhood or out your city. I think he had to move.
Oh, he definitely had to move. I mean, there's no reason for him to be here. All he could do was get in trouble. He needed a new environment. But you can.
How the song go? You can't hide from yourself.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
There you are.
There you are.
Because, I mean, when you take you and somewhere else, it don't take that long for you to, especially if you're used to handling situations a certain way.
Correct.
You're going to handle
conflict resolution.
Yeah. That's how you're going to handle it wherever you go for the most part. So,
you know, people talk about parents. There's only so much parents can do to a certain point. You know, it really is. And you know that more than me as a parent, especially as they get older. I mean, it becomes weird. You know, you ain't going to kill them. But some of the older guys around these guys, and I'm not that I'm blaming the OGs, and again, I guess the same thing could be said because there's only so much you could do unless you're going to kill them, you know. But it seems like there was a gap in the tutelage, right? From it wasn't a whole generation, but it was about a 10-year gap where there wasn't any information being put out there to those young ones when they hopped off the porch at like 10, 11, 12. You know, Vaughn said, man, they used to just fight and click up and fight. And then 8th grade, they got guns.
yeah. Well, got to remember, they locked up all the leaders of the different gangs at different times. But
so-called gangs.
Yeah, so-called gangs. Organizations.
Yes, social clubs.
And they disrupted all of the organization of them.
Yeah.
And eliminated the organization of them.
That's why there's more order, people will tell you, in the penitentiaries today than there is on the street. Because those old heads you're talking about are in the penitentiary and they're keeping the order.
Yeah.
They tell them young motherfuckers as soon as they get there, hey man, sit your ass down. I'm not talking about in the county.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about when you get to the joint. You better sit your ass down, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ain't finna fuck up nothing for us, you know. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, as far as the ATL, my thoughts are always, I agree, you know, especially that lifestyle he allegedly led, but ATL, I know that's, you know, like Black Hollywood and Black music, you know, the Mecca, I get that, but bro, you can't go to ATL and expect not to see no GDs and you just throwing down the rakes on the internet all day and making songs, you know, dissing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't expect to really go anywhere and that's what you represent all the time. Like,
I mean, you can go someplace in South Dakota, get you some rural land, unincorporated land. You could do that. You could do that, Self.
I'm not sure. Man, the Chicago street, every state, there's somebody.
Oh yeah, there are.
Alaska. So
that's true. And then the more those weird states you go to, the more you stick out as well. Yeah. Somebody could be traveling or just living there, like you said, laying low, and yeah, you sticking out. Yeah, you're right. And then 12 be so intertwined. You know, something people don't want to talk about. We're not talking about your common everyday cop, but maybe there's some spooks in that. But they're so intertwined with their brotherhoods, fraternal brotherhoods, that they'll pull you over because they want to check you out, see who you are. Oh, Devon Bennett. Let me call Chicago cops. We got Devon. I just pulled over Devon Bennett in South Dakota. Y'all looking for this boy? You know what I mean? And those cops might be plugged with GDs. And yeah, so it's a lot going on, man. And these young ones don't know it when they jump off the porch. They haven't a clue. They have not a clue.
Yeah, 11, 12, you don't know anything anyway. So,
but the old heads knew it when they took them off the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so if they started giving more mandatory time, so a lot of the old heads who were going to jail, they were never getting out either. You know, so you should have your old heads go in and come out and some go in, but you always had some sort of structure, you know, to your point. They locked them up and threw the book on them and slapped them in there. Free Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford.
Yeah, I mean, they shut it all down at separate times, but in, you know, consecration. So it was bam, 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 and it's been reckless ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. Same thing happened in LA. So who's allegedly responsible for his death?
Allegedly, the Tim somebody.
Yeah, Lil Tim.
Lil Tim, yeah.
Lowell. He spells it Luul.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit down with him. Lil Tim. Yeah. He
Yeah.
reminds me of Drew. Lil Tim ain't got it all. But yeah, Lil Tim.
Allegedly, even though there are many more, you know, shots.
Wacky conspiracy theories. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. No, Lil Tim, we're there now, but yeah, you're right. But so let's just get the alleged story. November 6, 2020 at around 2:15, Bennett and his crew were involved in an altercation with Quando Rondo's crew outside of the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. So Von had just had an album release, listening party. Everything went well, so he was on 10. Quando Rondo's crew are allegedly Crips. I guess Von's OTF crew are allegedly BD. So I would think they would have some sort of, you know, unification. But if there's no structure, then this is what you get. And the feds cannot allow unity, whether they're social clubs or whether they're freedom fighting movements. They can't allow the melanateds to be unified throughout the United States because there's a lot of information that we would be sharing, and it's a whole nother story we won't talk about on this platform. However, Bennett and his crew were involved in an altercation with Rondo's crew outside of the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta. The dispute quickly escalated into gunfire. Bennett was shot multiple times. He was transported to a hospital by his guys in critical condition and died there later that day. He was only 26. The GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, reported that 2 people were killed and 6 were wounded. One of them was placed in police custody, that would have been Lil Tim, for the murder of King Von while being treated for a gunshot wound. The suspect was identified as Timothy Leaks, age 22, a rapper also known as Lil Tim, who was affiliated with Quando Rondo and the Crips. On November 14th, 2020, King Von was buried in Chicago, Illinois. So now, Self, I'm gonna lead you to just some stream of consciousness. So, according to 100K track, he came on AK-47 show, King AK-47, on his platform. Right after it happened, sometime after it happened, shortly after it happened, and he said he was with Von. He said something was a little off about Von. He said Von and Quando would be going back and forth on the internet. I think Von was messing. They was, you know how the honeypots are. It's messy,
same, bro.
Yeah, and it's all spooky. Y'all be careful with those random honeypots showing up, you know, giving you everything you asked for, you know. But yes, so there's some back and forth going on. I think China Dow, he was saying, Wando was saying he started dating, I think it was a lot of that going on. So now, according to the 100K track, Von was feeling good, but said something was a little off about him that day. He just didn't seem like himself, according to 100K Spook. And he said that Von was asleep. And they wanted, after the show, Von wanted to get into something. And there was a bunch of cars. Damn, this shit sounds like Biggie and Pac's story. So the main security detail, they weren't all together. Von went off on his own, because he wanted to go to a hookah spot. So everybody wasn't there initially. It just don't make sense. And then so when they got there, security pulled up. So they all went into the club. That's what happened, to the hookah spot. I guess they go in there to check it out because they can't bring any guns in or something. This is a 100K Spook story. Von was in there sleep resting. And one of the guys who was never named came up and said, man, Lil Tim woke Von up and said, not Lil Tim, Quando Rondo's right there. Woke him up out his sleep. You know, he wasn't alone. So.
And he was in a bulletproof vehicle.
Yes. And they had to get him out the bulletproof vehicle if they wanted to hit him. That's a great point, Self. I never heard nobody mention. He was inside a bulletproof vehicle. He jumped up out his stupor. Who knows what kind of pills and alcohol he had that night. Release party. Man.
I heard they said somebody drugged him too.
Come on, Self. If I'm telling you, I might be telling you just as a point of information. You're in a bulletproof vehicle. There go that nigga right there. You finna wake up and grab, not without a stick. You just finna wake up and jump out. I'm gonna grab you and close the door. Like, nah, it's 100. He got people with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, this guy's out here. That's all, man. You know what I'm saying? And just to let him. And so Rondo's standing in the middle of the street, and there's an SUV off to the side. Von gets out, walks around, pulling up his pants because he's sagging a little. Walked right up on Rondo, like face to face. It wasn't like he's, saying whatever. Walked right up on him. Chi-Town stole on him and just kept it going. Rondo never even threw a punch. He on top of him just hitting him. And Lil Tim allegedly, popped out of the car, popped out. And man, got some shots off because that's a hell of a shot to take. Because if I'm down there getting beat up, Self, and you taking them shots, I'm like, God damn, dude.
Right.
Like,
I'm right here, motherfucker.
Yeah,
might
all
shoot
right.
me.
Yeah, he wasn't killing me. Shit, right. To your point, I know you keep saying you don't think he made those shots because that kind of accuracy is almost like police accuracy. Someone who's at the gun range all the time and who's not on pills and not on lean and not on any other things.
Out there to shoot and kill King Von.
Well, he just happened to be there, according to the authority.
No. That was the one at the car. There were several police officers who were security at the place.
Correct. They got off shots. You're right.
Yes.
And there was another cop in a car who was
Yes.
sitting out, who just happened to be there on break. They tried to say something.
Francois.
Oh,
That's who had just happened to be there.
Wow.
In the car.
Wow. Because even some of the old block guys, when they was talking about it, they're like, man, shots just started coming from everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. And he was shot too many times for just Lil Tim. I'm telling you, man, that's how they could close the case and say it was self-defense and just wipe it and don't have to go.
But he owned his masters. How do they
deep
profit
in.
off of that? Because they're still getting a higher percentage off what they distributed? Or, I mean, how?
He had a huge life insurance on him.
This is true. He could have been a problem, right?
Point blank. Like, I think Empire, I think all these record labels or distributors,
Empire could be law enforcement.
Yes, it could.
I'm going to say it again.
And
Empire could be law enforcement.
And distributors, that's doing, they putting life insurance on the artists. I mean,
because remember, Self, this was a time when, you remember this, we talked about on the show, there was a lot of folks were saying, we need to have what was that movie where you get to kill everybody overnight, 24 hours, and then the next
Purge.
day? Yeah, they was like, man, it was a suggestion, should we purge these Pookie and Ray Ray types? Yeah, I don't see it on the internet anymore. I'm just thinking of other theories. We've heard 12. I mean, I'm not blaming 12, but if 12's got a problem with you and they can't get you convicted and you beating cases and throwing it up in their face, you know what I mean? I'm saying 12's been known to be hitmen. I'll say that. And if anybody doesn't believe me, then
Yeah, I would say do a simple Google search, but
ooh. You're gonna have to restart your computer.
You're
gonna get some updates.
It's sensory. I got, my thing now is to ask the AI questions they won't answer.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I do it all the time. I do it, and it's like the AI be butthurt. Yeah, you can't talk about that. Sometimes it'll put it up and then it'll block it later.
Right.
I can
It'll block
screenshot
it.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna see something and then I go to look and I'm like, oh, you done blocked it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened? What? You're a tool of censorship?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a tool of censorship.
It said I'm not a tool. I laugh.
Is that what it said?
Yes.
Yeah, but you're a tool of censorship. You left that out. But yeah, so those are a lot of weird oddities, bro. Dirk wasn't there.
I mean, couldn't be. They had this case, so they couldn't be.
That's
together.
true. Within 100 feet, whatever. You're right.
Whatever that. So yeah.
Damn.
As a part of their bond, as part of their bail being out.
Now, even if the GDs had a hit out on them, this is just speculation. They have friends in law enforcement, etc. And like I said, anybody can hire a hitman. If he happens to be a 12, that's even for the better, you know. Because I didn't realize he got murdered so quickly after Duck's murder. I didn't realize it was that quickly after. And I think as far as karma, which is part of the poll question, he came out and did some unsavory things right after Duck's murder, and it was extremely distasteful. You know, I talk about how funny he is and charismatic he is, but certain things where you look at your guy and you be like, oh, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, allegedly he paid for that hit. Allegedly.
Yeah, according to the feds. Oh, and according to Trench's News, which we're going to get into. They call them Snitches News now. So again, we talked about it on this damn show. Cats who come out, I don't believe AK-47 is an informant or law enforcement anymore, but I used to believe he would. Come on, cats who come out. Yeah, I started my page. I got 400,000 followers. Yeah. I can't even dad. You know what I mean? and I'll be like, Hassan Campbell's another one. I always smell like, oh no, this motherfucker's got informant written all over him at minimum. Why all these people listening to him? I can get why you listen to one video and then you start listening to it. Like you said, I don't listen to that no more. And it's like, come on, man, this ain't making all those comments on his videos. You're the man. Keep going. You're gonna change the world. He allegedly got his thighs creamed on by African bam butter. You know what I mean? And that's his claim to fame. All right. I digress. You know, he comes out there and talks about the black mothers, blames them for the poverty in the city of Chicago. And,
I'm not a fan. So
yeah, small ups. Okay, but is there any scenario where Empire or OTF is involved? I mean, he said, allegedly, we don't know who did it. I'm out here making sacrifices. I mean, Self, you know what that can mean. You're a wordsmith. That means I'm making personal sacrifices, internal sacrifices to get to where I get. Or it can mean I'm sacrificing people on behalf of people.
Yes.
So that I can get to where I need to get.
Yes.
And maybe he was a little too loud.
Blood sacrifice, a human sacrifice.
Yeah, maybe that was a little too loud, Self. I mean, imagine if y'all caught me tweeting during the process. You know what I mean? Every day, tweeting and posting shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of alleged information, and I didn't know this young man. And, regardless of what he's allegedly done, he could be a leader and redeemable.
Yo to Santos de la Rosa. You're right, so yes, and that's what Farrakhan and that's what humanity says. all of us are redeemable. None of us are perfect in God's eyes, and we're all redeemable, which is why murder is so unnecessary. See, you type something in the chat. Let's see. Ah, look at that. You came up with it. Self Love. Brother Wordsmith has solved today's riddle. So big ups. We'll give you guys the answer at the end of the show. DJ Academics, culpable. I think that if I want to reach out to FBG Duck's mom, Mama Duck. If I were them, I'd call Cannon Lambert. Cannon Lambert came on this show. He represented
Sandra Bland.
It's the late Sandra Bland wrestler, so he's lead attorney. He has his own law firm, fancy law firm downtown. You know what I mean? He looks like you, sounds like you, talks like you, all this shit. But my point is, I'd get a class action lawsuit against DJ Academics. They should get together and file a class action lawsuit against him and just see what sticks.
He's yeah, I don't even want to speak on that guy. He's god awful.
So if there's a reason major platforms and reputable news agents, well, I know reputable news sounds ridiculous, but work with me here. The so-called majors don't do what he did because you get yourself sued.
I mean,
he was slander, libel.
He can probably get himself sued almost every day.
Yeah. Just coming out talking to, self, and the guys be like, he's just talking nonsense. Right. Like the stuff he's talking, and he just come out and Troy Wordsmith, the Wolverine of Chicago, he allegedly shot 100 people, and it's all just shit.
And he in New Jersey or wherever the fuck he is.
Wherever the fuck he is. Won't step foot in Chicago. Snitch 9 went to O Block at least.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of
and a bulletproof
police.
Yes, he did. Yes,
and then went on Breakfast Club. He said the Jigaboo the God said
wait, what's his name?
He was only there 30 seconds.
What's his real name?
I don't know his real name, but Charlemagne the guy.
So we're gonna call him Charlemagne the Jigaboo. Go ahead. Yeah, Charlemagne the Jigaboo. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
He asked 6ix9ine, say, "Oh, you was only out there like 10 minutes." He was all like 60 seconds. That's what
6ix9ine was like, it was less than that, huh?
Yeah, he said 60 seconds. He said shit. He got out there, said what he said, and then they went and got in the
And I bet you it had to be about 5 a.m, at the crack of dawn, because the birds was chirping. You heard crickets out there. I mean, seriously, it sounded like he was in the suburbs.
Where y'all at? It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, ain't no 10 o'clock. Ain't come on, Self. You drive past there. Ain't no way in hell you out there at any time after 7 a.m. and you don't see some kids going to school, somebody driving in and out. Ain't no way you was from 7 a.m. to Parkway Gardens, from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., you're going to see somebody out there. And if it's a weekend, I'm talking 7 a.m. to 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, bro.
I don't know. I know one thing. If you got a whole bunch of police out there, then motherfuckers is
disappear. And they probably cleared the area, paid some people and shit.
Yeah, shit. We only need 60 seconds, y'all. Y'all just stay in there 5 minutes,
Yeah. And we're going to get OTF 20% of these views. But I need people to know, we're not suggesting that OTF or the GDs or the BDs or any factions of them are law enforcement. But it could be some spookiness going on. There could be a lot, like you don't know what you're getting yourself involved in to certain levels. I'm confident that the spooks may have infiltrated our organization that we love so much at the highest levels.
Hey, I'm going to say 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All of
the Divine Nine. Yes. That's why they're pushing the same agenda. Well, that's a whole nother show. Okay, so yeah, I think
Ivy League agenda.
so. Do you think DJ Academics, speaking of Ivy League, maybe Academics is telling you that what agenda he's a part of, but do you think that that they can win that there should be a lawsuit? I think we should do it. Not us, but they should do it. But talk to Ken.
Yeah, I mean, he is a piece of work. He's not foundational.
Not respectful.
No, I mean, because he's not foundational. That breeds some disrespect because they think, why haven't we been able to do what they can? And
Yes.
Right.
And then I remember people on the block say, because we don't get a bag of money when we come over here from the spooks. They weren't saying the last part, but yeah.
All kinds of advantages and don't have to pay taxes. And all of this for your business, for
yes,
and all kinds of loans
and
privy to.
And by 6 degrees of separation, we're related to all these people you're talking about, and we got more respect for ourselves and our community. Self Love wouldn't go to wherever he's from, Haiti or Jamaica and Kingston, and start talking about, and look what they're shooting. How long you think Self Love would last? I mean, you could do it from Chicago, and the Grim Reaper of Kingston. Look at this savage. You can do that with no love. Not you. I know you couldn't.
I'm just saying we're not built like that.
Yeah, but it's easier for some people to do it for a bag of money. He's built like that, and I would.
There's a lot of.
I would do a GoFundMe and I'd raise $100,000 to slap the shit out of DJ Academics. But go ahead. I wonder if you can do that on GoFundMe. And that we get the money to him.
There is a certain approach that non-foundational people, they don't understand.
I think they don't have the love.
Well, they've been programmed and indoctrinated before they get here.
They go through the filter.
So it's, not completely their fault, but
stay away from those common niggas.
Man.
They're bad parents. They don't care about family. They don't have any family traditions. So you're saying they don't know the history. They're ignorant.
Yes.
Many of them.
They've been taught a lot of BS and indoctrinated into a bunch of BS, just as we have.
I mean, to come out
same indoctrination too, but
But we come from here, so we got people who, uncles, aunts, everybody who can debrief us on some of that indoctrination. People you meet, OGs and books, and they don't necessarily have access to that. They come over here drinking the red, white, and blue Kool-Aid, and the only problem in America is American niggas.
Yeah. But now, even now, the children believe the internet and the schools more than their parents.
Yeah.
That's a completely,
well, that's on the parents.
Cut off. And to a certain degree, but it's on the censorship in the internet. These search engines don't put up
the truth.
The truth. It props up who pays to be up top, first of all. And then it props up all the propaganda that this government is allowed to use against us.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that, but yeah.
Well,
I'm not 100% sure. I think, let's get back to King Von. Yeah.
I think Von had made his metamorphosis. I think that Von, if there is such a place as heaven, has made it to the pearly gates. I don't say that. you know, the reason I say that, and I want to ask you what you think was in his heart, because I was told by Ronton's mom, and that's how she raised Ronton. You're not so much measured about your entire life on this planet. That was what their family believed. But what you're doing at the end. And, it's kind of like that football game the Bears had. Justin this, Justin that. He didn't play bad. He had 2 fumbles. Outside of that, I mean, he did what he did against one of the best defenses, and they won the damn game. But, but he came through at the end. And so the reason I think that he had changed, and he could have just gotten out and shot, which I think had he not made that metamorphosis, he would just got out and shot Quando Rondo.
Yeah.
And Lil Tim and anybody else who,
thinking that someone had the right approach and he didn't have access to a gun.
So you think if the scenario was set up, if it wasn't set up so well with the case, you can't carry, look, we got security, they're going to handle it. You're just going to get in and out of the bulletproof car. Then at some point, some jackass is going to come tell you your mortal enemy is right over there and allow you to go run over there without a strap into, enemy territory throwing punches, bro. Come on, bro. You from the South Side. Come on, bro. Now, if that's your brothers, maybe somebody from your clique, all right, that's doable. That's doable.
But it seemed like they messed with each other though, because there's some.
They did. They had some songs together and stuff. They was in the studio together. Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed like internet beef for them to sell records. Right. Lil Tim didn't get the memo, but you keep saying he's a patsy. He's Peppermint Patsy.
Yep. An easy way to dismiss it.
Wow. And because it never made sense to me why he just started shooting. We don't know if his was the first shot. So he could have started hearing shots and
started shooting.
Yes. Which is probably what he told the GBI, which is probably why they had to turn him loose. And they're still saying they don't know who shot him. So when Pookie's
that's what I mean. That's what I'm telling you.
But when Pookie's on trial, they got the scientists, they got the FBI in there looking at the ballistics. Why don't they know that this came from a policeman's gun and this one came from Lil Tim? Why not?
Well, there is some plausible reasons, like if the bullets went in and out and went all the way through, and they didn't.
They couldn't find them.
They don't have the slugs. That's a
you mean the shell casings?
Way. No, not the casings. The actual slug.
The actual slug.
Body. Yeah. If it went in and out, then you might find it. You might not.
But they're so vague. They've been so vague with how they break it. Like you know what I mean?
They have not proven that Lil Tim's bullets
hit him,
killed him, or hit him or killed him. So that was my whole thing. And there are several sets of cops out there returning fire and shooting. And all the witnesses said there was gunfire from everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you saw everybody running from behind cover. Even people on us against each other was running back, the same way behind the van or wherever they were going. Because it was... And Quando Rondo did not get hit at all. So
yeah,
there's some.
But he was on the ground. But he was on the ground,
and so was Vaughn over him. I mean, so that's still very close.
Yeah,
I mean, handguns. You got to be a very good shooter. You know what I mean? Because handguns are not
accurate.
Yes,
especially automatics.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, unpill it, but I, if his family hears this, I just think it's a tragedy. But you raised a king. I mean, he took the bull by the horns. I can say that about him.
Yeah, and it was a hit.
You confident of that at this point, huh? So it was a
mean,
setup.
Yeah, and then look who benefits.
But do you think Dirk was involved? Dirk generally, legitimately seemed bothered by it. Now, he did say he wants to go into acting, and he's been working on it and stuff.
Hey, bro. Wasn't Kanye genuinely bothered by his mother passing? They don't necessarily know what the sacrifice is, bro.
Correct.
But they be a part of it, though.
Correct. Or you could be a part of it and still be bothered by it. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna say it doesn't hurt. I think that's the whole point of the sacrifice. Right. Yeah. Right. Wow. All right. Before you get to your final wordsmith's final words, you got anything else on this topic before I wrap it up?
Man, it's just seems like a loss. Doesn't benefit us moving forward. Could have been for the people. He had a chance to evolve to that.
Man, that just tells you the level of talent, not just in Chicago, but really in Chicago, just even on the South Side. You get these factions within one school, and they're able to take the whole world by storm, bro.
Yeah.
Just being themselves to a certain extent, I mean, it's like when my little homie Bannister said we fucked up the crack game. They really fucked up that drill game. If they just wouldn't, hey man, listen. Now you're gonna beef him. The OGs from the BDs, the OGs from now you guys are gonna beef on the internet. But nobody's gonna kill each other, and nobody's gonna shoot each other, and it's not gonna be any of that. You know what I'm saying? And we're just gonna make money off this shit, like the old school rappers used to do. But I guess when somebody gets 1 million views saying they'll throw your mom, or they threw your mom down the stairs, and your mom actually got thrown down the stairs by some unknown person. You know what I mean? It would smart differently.
At some point, things have to change. The old phrase, change your mind, change your life. We need to hit the turning point of people and make this different and for our favor.
Man, they say if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. It's not likely you're going to be able to change the people around you. So,
right.
Yeah.
Like minds.
Yeah. He came out, when he got out the county, he did a song with THF Zoo, and it went up. And then after that, he just kept, I remember he was doing an interview with, I can't think of my man's name, blogger from Shy. He was doing an interview with him, and I'm like, man, this dude just seems so authentic. You know what I'm saying? And I do remember being a bit uncomfortable by the line of questioning, like y'all feeding into it. But they weren't reputable journalists, which now they're all trying to claim to be because they got themselves caught up. Since the PPP money's dried up, I don't see everybody doing this no more.
PPP got some people in the P now.
Got PP people in the PPP now. I mean, you don't see as much
the P
as
now system because you get the P now up the rectum.
Yep. And it ain't always coming from the inmates. It's coming from those COs, boy. They got the keys. Ain't much you can do there. That's why a lot of riots take place. But they're not going to tell you that in the news. All right, let me do my final thing, Self, and we wrap it up. The CEO will be here shortly. All right. So as always in this series, first thing, always rest up, King Von. Condolences to his family. Also, we do a message to the rappers. If you're assigned to a label, Empire, make sure they have a life and an AD&D, that's accidental death and dismemberment policy, naming your loved ones as a beneficiary. Make sure $10 million if you're assigned to a label. $10 million, you want that. All right. That way, your lifestyle, or if they want to whack you, $10 million. I'd also get a policy for $10 million myself. You know, why not? That's $20 million for your estate. Also, make sure you have a will. All right. Don't diss dead people. Avoid yapping, snitching on the internet, telephone, wall phone. I don't care what it is. Stop going live. You know, if you're living that lifestyle, stop it. You know, you're not aware how much people can learn from you. You know, allegedly that's how they killed the rapper from New York. You know, he was staying in an Airbnb out here, and the address popped up. You know, he was posting some shit on the internet, and they came and killed him. So I would say stop doing it. You're going to be a little tipsy. You know, you probably buzz. You know, you're cavalier out there. You got your gun and your security. You're feeling good. Don't do it. Build your own private recording studio at the crib. Keep your friends close. Keep the enemies closer. Know yourself and know your enemies. Realize that your words are power. Integrate love into your messaging. Stop flashing PPP cash and PPP jury. It's not necessary. It's unsavory. And for lack of a better term, it's dumb. You might think I'm hating, but it's dumb. All right. And I promise you, if I had PPP cash, I wouldn't throw it away on, you know, but to each his own. You know, it's dumb. All right. But it's definitely not necessary. Like, what other race does this? Educate yourself on the business of rap and branding. Enjoy life. So we've reached the end of this podcast on the life and death of a Chicago legend, grandson. The rapper who was killed in a shooting in ATL in November 2020. Rest up, condolences to his family and loved ones. We have learned about his background, his music, his challenges, his impact on the rap scene. We've also discussed the possible motives and suspects behind his murder, as well as the reactions and responses from his family, friends, fans, and rivals. V. Roy was a controversial figure who allegedly lived a dangerous and turbulent lifestyle, but he also had a loyal fan base and a unique voice that resonated with many, many people, mainly the youth in Chicago. Yeah, worldwide. He cared about his family and the less fortunate. He left behind a legacy of music that captures the reality of his environment and the fervor of his emotions. He was a rapper who was not afraid to speak his mind and stand up for himself, even if it meant making ops and risking his life. He was an artist who lived up to his moniker, King Von. Long live Davon Bennett. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions for future episodes for the Self Love Show, feel free to contact us at the number it's pinned in the chat. Those who aren't watching this live, that number is 424-900-6945. We'd love to hear from anyone and learn more about your thoughts and opinions on Von. Remember, ask not. Well, first of all, he didn't bite his tongue for anybody. I didn't mean to say that. I respect that about him. But you do have to learn how to bite your tongue. Something I had to learn. Now, remember, ask not what B1 Culture can do for you, but what you can do for B1 Culture. As always, question everything and everybody. So the Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Dorothy. Peer down the rabbit holes and do your own research. But use caution. Because sometimes when you stare into that abyss, that abyss is going to stare right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right, so the riddle, self-love has solved it. I'll give you guys a response since you guys were once again lazy and black. Alive without breath, as cold as death, never thirsty, ever drinking, all in male, never clinking. J.R.R. Tolkien. Solution, the key?
The fish.
How'd you get that? Because I mean, I can get it, but the part that threw me off, all in male, never clinking. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know, but I left that part alone.
Smart. That's what jammed me up. If I just ignored that, which is probably a secret, but you're right. So alive.
That's why it took so long, because I had to realize that, wait a minute, that don't.
Right?
It's something that's not alive.
So alive without breath. And it could throw you off because technically, gills, I guess they're breathing in their own little way.
Yeah.
But it's not breath. So good job. As cold as death because they're in the water. That's how you got that?
And they're cold-blooded.
Never thirsty. Yeah, fish don't drink water. Fish don't drink water.
Well, they're never thirsty because they're in water.
Because they're always drinking, but they're not really drinking. Yeah.
I mean, they're always in water, so,
there's no need.
Yeah.
If they're thirsty, they probably need something like dry sand. That'd be their equivalent to thirst, but they don't need that. All right, great job, man. Great job once again. I didn't think you were going to matriculate. So next week on the Self Love Show, we're going to be live as always. But scheduling, we're going to have to work on that because don't believe it's going to work. But the curious case of YouTube's trenches news and government informants. Oh my God. So Duck's case is going on, and man, it's coming out. They said he was paid informant, like 25 stacks, like even before. So he tried to come out and say, well, I did it for the community, I did it for Duck, the snitching. But they said he's snitching before then. And I mean, I don't want to go in because it's none of my business, but I'm going in because Self and I had a premise, and this is for our youth, watch who you follow out here and listen to, and all of this shit could be a setup. Maybe I'm paranoid, but go ahead, Self.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying.
So Trench's News, he's a blogger. He came from the low end, so he had the occasion to know Duck and all the old block guys. He even lived on old block, but I think he was a GD. So yeah, he's been blogging and he's been telling stories. I think it's called Trench's Stories. I got a story to tell, and he's been going to all the major platforms. Had a whole bunch of followers before he was found on the paperwork as a snitch, and people defollowed him.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
he's
right.
he's like in witness protection. So just man, watch a couple of his videos. I kind of feel for him, but I think he got played by the government. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, man, he knew all those guys and just was telling, like, he's the one the government's using for the whole duck case. Like, he's a major witness in this.
Yeah, well, I mean, you ask the wrong questions to the right people, you're gonna get some answers. And then if you tell those answers to them people, then
yeah, but if that was it, that'd be
snitch.
No, but that'd be different. But you're a paid informant. I mean, we're gonna get into it, but I personally think that anyone who pays an informant should be thrown in jail. And I personally think that there's no job. You say don't knock a man's hustle. There's no job lower on this earth than a paid informant. You just out here hanging around, listening and talking to people.
Ear hustling and selling information.
I'm sorry. If you told me he was a prostitute standing out there in Washington on the West Side,
You respect that more.
Yeah, and I mean for men, yeah, he was in Boys Town doing it. Yes, I would respect that 1,000,000 times more. That man had, and if he was heterosexual doing it, that man had to get his money and feed his family. You know what I'm saying? But a paid informant, bro. But this is what we've been saying. Like, man, if it don't make sense, y'all make it make sense, because I'm like, all these people want to hear him tell stories about. He's like, and I grew up with him, and so I know all. And he'd be saying all that, man.
A paid informant will say anything.
Yes,
they're paid to inform.
Yes,
so they're going to inform you about something.
They gotta say something. And he was getting paid off his channel. So again, 12 would have those farms that Self is talking about, those view click farms, build you up, give you credibility, and drag your ass into federal Chicago court as a snitch. And you came up on the low end around all those guys. He talk about bulletproof cars. Man, he blogged from the courthouse, and I'm doing it for Duck. That was before it leaked out in the court case. Oh, yeah. Because the other attorneys are like, wait a minute, who else has he been in? Like what? Yeah, he the one who came out after the Duck murder and started. And I'm not saying it, but they came out of O'Block right away, and it's been said that somebody tweaked the location. It was him. Man. I'm happy for Mama Duck, if this is all true, but like Self Love just said, a paid informant will say anything for that money. I had a problem when his whole blog Self, he'd come out of meetings, he always had that mask on. I'm like, come on, man, he's either a hitman or an informant. I said it from the beginning, like, who doesn't know this? And it would be people in the comments whenever he'd go on the show or do his thing. I know who you are. He's saying who he is. You know what I mean? Like, he give his street name and where he came up and project building he was in. So why are you wearing a mask? It never made sense to me.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah, and it turned out
it really does.
Yeah, Trench's News. Yeah, so we're gonna break that down next week. Sports and politics. We discussed that on TATN on Mouthpiece Included. Sunday,
I got another guest, comedian.
Oh, great. Sunday, we're unpacking Eric Bieniemy. Is he next up for the Chicago Bears? Huh? Rather than complain about the pink media's narrative, we have to, as black media, push our narratives. Talk about how smart Bieniemy is. You know what I mean? What he's done and his accomplishments. How he's come under the, what's his name? Not Belichick, but it's Coach KC. Andy Reid. He's cut from the Andy Reid tree. You know what I mean? And the Bears should hire him. we'd have a black quarterback, a black head coach, a black GM, and a black president. I tell you, Papa Bear Hallis rolling over in his grave. He's going to come out of his grave.
I hope we keep the majority of them people in place, because the rumor is that they're talking about cleaning house, which would be tragic.
You talking about from polls on down?
Yeah,
that would be dumb.
Completely.
Polls has done a great job, man.
That's what I think.
He's done a great job.
That's what I think.
And if everybody's mad about Justin, which he ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm saying if that's your reason, if that's a negative in your mind, then he didn't.
I'm thinking that, unless there's some winnage on this rest of this way.
I mean, I looked at it. They can easily win out, but they easily got three wins. I mean, so if that'll give you 7 and 10.
If they win out, that'll keep everybody in place.
I think 7 and 10 will keep them in place. If they win 3 games and go 7 and 10, you had 2 flex games, bro. They could have won either way. And at that point, you know what I'm saying? You're a 9 and you know what I'm saying? 8 ball club. But 7 and 10, I think you can keep them in. I think you can keep Flus. I still might get rid of Getsy because I don't trust him. Don't trust him. He never says anything good about his team, his players. I don't like people like that.
I mean, he said some good things about Beijing. I heard it.
Correct. He sure did. Even Flus, he won't say nothing good about JF1, but he'll say good things about defensive players. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. But you're right. He said something about Beijing. And that's it. And when I hear him talking, he's always throwing the team under the bus, like he's trying to save his ass. And it's unsavory as a head coach, as any type of coach. You know that, Self. You're a grown man. You're a man in this. And, anything that's going wrong with this ball club is on me, and I'm going to get it fixed. That's why we like the Noop who's coaching in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Something's going to change. It's going to change today. And he does what? Snapping he changed.
They got a standard. I mean, shit. Steelers in general has a standard. Like, he's the 4th coach all time
in history. And I saw something. This is and the Bears have had 111 coaches or some shit. I'm not, and it was close. It was like, I'm like, man, how's that possible? Yeah, Papa Bear Hallis for like 40, 50 years.
Yeah, and then, no loyalty to him.
Damn.
But he's never had a losing season. So, I mean,
Correct. That's correct, Self. And that's the only Pittsburgh is different, but you're right. They be trying to get on his ass in the national media. And then somebody got to remind him, he's got the NFL record. Same thing like Justin Fields. He's got a lot of Bears records. I mean, this guy's got the NFL record for, most winning seasons consecutively. And they get up there and talk about he should be fired. It's like nonsense. But that's what we're on Mouthpiece included. And let's see if I'm in the right place here. This brings me. Oh, I'm already in there. Okay. Big ups to our sponsors, Midwest Fest, and also Weenie in the Butt, 87.1, 97.1. Yeah, house stock, baby. Tune in or tune the fuck out. All right, this brings us to our conclusion. Rest up, King Von. You're a giant, bro. Wow. Wordsmiths. Final. Words out there. Give me a thumbs up if volume is good out there.
Self Luv Show, 187 bars. King Von is the star of today. And we broke down and displayed the history, his growth, and the mystery. Who benefited from his death? His label or his mate? I don't know. Don't make the mistake. to think that this stuff is real. It's all a fake. It's entertainment. Yet it's real life. The simulation that we live in is quite trite. You need to know what is real. Look into your mind. Be quiet and sit still. And so many die in so many different ways. So many publicly, and it is a craze. It will amaze if you think about it. Being an entertainer is one of the most dangerous things you can do. Doesn't make sense. You gotta represent yourself as better. Don't deal with the violent culture through whatever. They got us in a spell, and we tell each other that it's violent. We're violent people. And then they play it out in the media and act like there's no equal.
Savages.
But there's more savage people than us on this planet. These pink people been doing it since they got here, god damn it. Sick and tired of Yakub's design. What he put forth on this earth through his double mind. Science. I'm not sorry that you were albino and got treated in the wrong way. Maybe treated in the wrong way. But you, who you was and who you are. You put this upon us, these ravages made from the dust. In the creator of all I trust. This simulation is do or die or bust. Words.
Words. Yes, sir, Bob. Yes, sir, Bob. All right, we closing out this joint. You stayed this far. We love you. We need you. And we encourage strong out here, huh, so?
Yes, we know who we are. We all need to get together and move the bar.
Hey, we hang together or we hang separately. Do the math. Big ups, Kyle Zodiac. Man, know thyself, y'all. Good positive music. He should sign with Empire.
Huh?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, no, we gotta look into who else he got. I will. Do that.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all, bullets are boomerangs, man.
Yeah. Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, life for life.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
True. Slave theory. Want to be a slave? Move with greed. ego, arrogance. It's all a form of fear. You're gonna be crime, slavery.
Yeah, man, because charity plus humility times love, freedom.
Liberation, baby. Do not answer questions.
Yes. Question everything.
Time to make the people aware. Here's Cap. It's an illusion.
Vibrate love.
Forgiveness is love's highest vibration.
So, do something charitable for a so-called enemy. End of beef.
Free the ops, man. Free the ops. Hey, you know, we say here at the Self Love Show, healthy people heal that people.
We also say that hurt people, they gonna try to hurt people.
Usually hurt people. Other hurt people. Yeah. It's a whole metaphysical concept. Free Larry Hoover.
Free Jeff Ford.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison is slavery.
Yo, walk on water.
Man. In your life, move mountains.
Man, I got some huge mountains in my life, bro. Take a lot of energy.
Hey, that one right there, it's shorter than last week. It's getting out our way, bro.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bone.
You got him?
That man.
Shot down.
TATN.
Rest up, Vaughn. Free the guys.